And this slide pretty much summarizes the introduction that Jessica gave before. I'm certainly not going to go through everything on this slide, but I would like to say that I'm truly humbled to have the opportunity to speak to all of you today, and I appreciate your attendance to this webinar. I am a lifelong student of leadership and of IT and cybersecurity. I enjoy researching, reading, and sharing what I've learned, and I like to teach what I've learned. It's everything, and I don't pretend to, but what I have learned, I believe you will find helpful. If an answer to your question today, and if we can't figure it out together, I'll research it and post it on my blog and send you back concerning your question. I hope you take the opportunity to visit one or both of my websites, cybernetwork.com, which provides a platform for cyber career mentorship, and byronlove.net, which promotes my books. You can sign up for my free newsletter at each of those sites, and by signing up, you will receive a free copy of my ebook, A Geek's Guide to Career Advancement. Advancement, A Geek's Guide to Leadership is available at retailers like Amazon.com, and this presentation is based on Chapter 3 of that book. I was blessed to have written this book and to have CRC Press publish it last year. During my career, I found that many IT professionals and my staff were promoted into leadership positions because of their technical skills, but that they did not have any leadership education or training. As a result, the challenges they face to step out of their comfort zones and to communicate and connect and motivate people cause performance problems for our projects and operations. I couldn't find a book that could help them, and I wrote this book. It's a book that I wish I could have given them as a tool to help them overcome their leadership challenges. I've received feedback that the material in the book not only helps technical professionals, but also anyone who wants to learn more about leadership. Again, you can find more details about the book, including a thorough review and some sample content at byronlove.net, and I hope you can order your copy today. All right, enough of the commercial announcements. Let's get to the agenda. To start with an overview of emotionally intelligent communications for IT professionals, we'll begin by discussing why effective communications is important. Then I will understand why IT professionals face challenges with communication. Communications is really a mental activity where those sending information are making an effort to transition their meanings and intentions about the things they're trying to communicate in their brains into the brains of another person, to the mind of another person. It helps to understand a little bit about how the mind works, how the brain works, in order to understand human communication. And so we will certainly go through that in some. The Averett emotive behavior model provides a useful framework for understanding how we process information. And we will go through that model briefly and then overlay this model with the traditional communication cycle. It provides an interesting perspective on what goes on inside our minds when we communicate. The talk continuum helps us to think intelligently about different types of communication protocols that we use and why they're important. And by understanding the talk continuum, it can help us plan and effectively execute a communications process. And then at the conclusion, I will summarize this presentation by providing keys that IT pros can use to communicate with emotional intelligence. According to Robert Gotham of Colleen Consulting, IT projects are complex because of the number of interrelated decisions that are required in order for a project to be successful. Gotham reports that IT projects require practitioners to expend over 5 times as much effort making decisions as civil engineering projects. Practitioners expend making decisions on construction projects. The complexity of implementing and supporting high-tech solutions, the difficulties of communicating abstract ideas concerning technical requirements to developers and engineers, and of explain abstract technical solutions to customers and users. And on top of that, the myriad of unpredictable personnel issues that you deal with as an IT leader, all of these chaotic elements, all of this chaos comes together to create a very dynamic challenge for IT leaders. The summation of these complex elements can create an overwhelming morass, a morass that is larger than the sum of its parts, the Gestalt concept here. In time and skills required for expert collaboration and coordination is often overlooked, wrote Teresa, director of the Center for Technology and Government at the University of Albany. You need super project managers, skill sets to endure all actions and coordinate it across multiple, to ensure all actions are coordinated across multiple boundaries and sensitive to shifting priorities. So it takes a lot of skill to manage this whole process. IT professionals at levels have to deal with this type of complexity, and this complexity cannot be resolved without effective communication. The fifth edition of the PIM book states that effective communication creates a bridge between diverse stakeholders, the type of stakeholders found in IT projects, who may have different cultural and organization backgrounds, different levels of expertise, different perspectives, different interests. Researchers have written that 90% of project management is communication, and I've certainly lived this. I delivered projects and programs at organizations where the leadership and end users were in law enforcement or they're diplomats or they're intelligence analysts. They all had different lexicons, different perspectives on the world, different business processes, all different from the way that we deliver IT solutions. We had to go to great lengths to explain why the changes we were making were important to the smooth operations and the security of their business and their mission. Studies indicate that most IT professionals are introverts, and this is a trait that makes effective communications challenging when most of the people that are within the field, a majority of them, are introverts. Briggs type indicator studies of IT professionals have found that 2/3 of them are introverts. The general population has 5% of extroverts, whereas computer professionals are only 33% extroverts. Introverts need social interaction. They are energized when they're around a lot of people. They prefer to work with groups, with teams. They prefer parties and gatherings. They like to speak first and think later. Sometimes they think while they're speaking.